Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. It is time for week 2 of the 2018 NFL season. It's time for week 2 picks and predictions. Last week I went 9-6-1, an okay start. Pretty much everyone did that. Some did a little better, some did a little worse. I had some good upset picks. I missed some things this week we are looking to improve, but I went 4-1 for my guarantee. Those are my betting picks. I went 4-1 on my guarantees. I was fantastic there. I'm looking to continue that winning streak this upcoming week. So with that said, let's go and get into it. Let's start with NFL Week 2. Let's start with the first game, the Thursday night football game, as you have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cincinnati, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, one of my more controversial predictions this upcoming season, or now this season, was that the Bengals would make the playoffs over the Baltimore Ravens, because I like both of these teams this year, but I like the Bengals a little bit better. However, the Ravens are hot right now. They're coming off a great win in which they absolutely obliterated the Buffalo Bills, and the Bengals are still missing Vontaze Burfict, and I still think it's going to take a little while before Joe Mixon and John Ross come to their full potential. I'm expecting that to be later on in the year. So I think early in the season the Ravens will be better, but ultimately the Bengals will be better. So right now let me get the Ravens to go to Cincinnati and defeat the Bengals, but I do believe it will be close. It would not shock me at all if the Bengals won on Thursday Night Football. Next game, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons as we begin the Sunday games. And look, this is a very interesting game to me. Right now, the Falcons are 6-point favorites, and that is too high to me, because although I have the Panthers missing the playoffs this year, it wouldn't surprise me if they were an 11 or 12 win team. We've seen them do that before. They're not that far off from those teams of the past. But Greg Olsen, again, fracturing his foot. He's going to be out for this game, and the Falcons have had now 10 days to prepare for this game. They should be ready to make up for the mistakes they made in Philadelphia. So give me the Falcons to win this game, but let me say it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of you people are expecting. It's going to be a close NFC South battle, and the Panthers have won this type of game before. Next game, Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Buffalo, facing the Buffalo Bills, and wow, the Chargers are 7.5-point favorites. No one has faith in the Buffalo Bills at this point, but here's the thing. As I keep saying, the Chargers start off the season slowly. That's why I had the Chiefs going to LA last week and beating the Chargers. A lot of y'all were surprised by that prediction. Guess what? The game wasn't close. They whooped the Chargers' asses. With that said, these are the Buffalo Bills, and this is the first professional start for Josh Allen. I think this game will be close as well, but I'm expecting the Chargers to get it done on the road in Buffalo because they are the better team by a sizable margin, actually. Next game, Minnesota Vikings traveling to Green Bay, facing the Green Bay Packers, and again, I have my problems here because the Packers right now, obviously, I think we can all agree they are worse than the Minnesota Vikings, but they're playing at home here, and the Vikings aren't at their full potential yet. Offensively, they're not where they should be. They struggled a bit offensively last week running the football and making consistent drives, so this game's going to be very close, but Aaron Rodgers is hobbled, and the Vikings defense gets after people. I felt these two teams would probably split this season, so I really want to pick Green Bay, but man, that Viking defense is so hard to go up against. That's why I ultimately have the Vikings winning the Super Bowl this season. Give me the Vikings to go to Green Bay and get it done. Next game, Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. And look, I said last week I was going to pick the Titans despite me being unimpressed with their preseason. It came back to bite me. I have to be honest right now, I can't pick the Titans to win this game. Last week was just a total disaster. It was ugly. It was bad. I mean, there were some good parts early on, but it became disastrous very quick, and I think it's going to take this team, and specifically the offense, some time to learn how to move the football without Delaney Walker. I don't think they're going to turn around the next week and move the ball consistently well on this Houston Texans team, because they're going to move the ball on us. We've proven we cannot defend DeAndre Hopkins. We cannot defend Will Fuller. We've proven this. And even Deshaun Watson, who I still believe is a fraud, we've proven we can't defend him. So they're going to look good today. I still think the Texans are screwed in the long run, and Deshaun Watson is going to prove to be, again, not the superstar people proclaimed him to be, but he's going to look good on us. He's going to run it on us, and we still don't have a linebacker that can bring him down. We still don't have a quarterback that can cover DeAndre Hopkins. I'm sorry, this is a W for the Houston Texans. If Delaney Walker was healthy and would have won last week, I would have loved to pick us to win this game, but I gotta be honest right now. This is a Texans win to me, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Titans can come out and look like how they looked week 2 last season, where they came off of a loss in week 1 and then bounced back, winning 37-16 over the Jacksonville Jaguars, who ended up making the AFC Championship. This is what I hope for. But me picking that would only be homerism, and I'll be a homer a little bit, but I can't do it all the time. I gotta go with the Houston Texans to defeat the Titans here. Next game, Cleveland Browns at the New Orleans Saints. They disappointed last week. Everyone was shocked that I had the Saints missing the playoffs. Well, that's where they're trending. Hopefully they don't lose this week. If they lose this week, then they're in big trouble. We're going to go from talking about the Saints being one of the best teams to one of the worst if they start 0-2 with losses to the Bucs and Browns. But they should get it done. I'm expecting the Browns to compete, but ultimately for the Saints to pull through and get this victory. Miami Dolphins, they're traveling to New York facing the New York Jets. And look, the Dolphins, they impressed me a little bit last week. I mean, I still think the Titans are more disastrous and the Dolphins were good, but Ryan Tannehill looks decently crisp right now, still throwing some dumb interceptions, but it looks decently crisp, and Kenyon Drake is doing his thing, and the receivers are looking pretty good and in sync with Ryan Tannehill last week, and that was without Devontae Parker. So I'm looking out for the Dolphins right now. But the Jets defense, it looks like the best unit out of all these teams, right? In terms of all the units for both these teams, the Jets defense right now is number 1, and I think number 2 might also be the Jets offense with their combination of running backs. Their wide receivers are good. Robbie Anderson back looking good. Quincy Enunwa, he's back looking good. Curse is good. So I think the Jets have the 2 best positional units, although the Dolphins defense is very close. So give me the Jets to win this game at home. Hopefully Darnold does not have a rookie regression yet. Next game, you have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Pittsburgh facing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and look, man, wow, I am very close to picking the Chiefs to win this game, but I ultimately can't do it. I must believe at home the Steelers are going to get this done, but man, after Patrick Mahomes in the game he had last week, ooh, it is enticing to pick the Chiefs to win this game. But I'll tell you this, I have it being very close. I have it being 35-32, Chiefs covering the 5.5-point spread, as Le'Veon Bell has still not returned to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe he will tomorrow, who knows, but as of this moment, this is not true. I think Big Ben bounces back. He may not make the MVP, win the MVP that I had him winning, but that's fine. He bounces back. He leads the Steelers to victory here, but it will be close, people, and it will not surprise me at all if the Chiefs get this done. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles. They're traveling to Tampa Bay facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both these teams won last week. I didn't think either of them would. So who the hell am I going to pick now? The Eagles, they have their formula. It's the same ass formula. They have their defense. They tell it, go out and be great. Okay, and they've been doing that consistently, except for the Super Bowl over the past year. I have to buy into them doing that again. Ryan Fitzmagic was fantastic last week, but it's the difference between doing that against the Saints defense and the Philadelphia Eagles defense right now that is still flying around like crazy. Giving the Eagles to go to Tampa Bay and get the victory here. If Tampa Bay wins this one, though, Jameis Winston will start sweating for real. Next game, Indianapolis Colts. They're traveling to Washington, facing the Washington Redskins, and let me tell you, this is the classic Andrew Luck upset game. I mean, I just see it. It's scaring the hell out of me, man. And in week 2, things tend to go to like an equilibrium where a lot of teams end up being 1-1. And the Redskins, are they really gonna start 2-0? It just doesn't feel right. But they are the better team. And how is Andrew Luck going to move the ball consistently? Josh Norman's going to damn near shut down T.Y. Hilton. And then who else does he have to throw to? Jack Doyle? We saw how that turned out at the end of the last game. So give me the Redskins to win this game at home. Next game, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the L.A. Rams. Give me the L.A. Rams to win this one at home. The Cardinals look absolutely awful right now. We can all agree on this. Jesus Christ, Sam Bradford looked like Sam Bradford last week. And Steve Wilkes, their new head coach, he looked absolutely lost, miserable, ridiculous. It was preposterous. So right now, who knows what's going on in Arizona? I'm expecting them to improve, look better this week than they did the last. This is a divisional game, so it should be closer in that aspect as well. But give me the Rams to win this one because they look like they could be the best team in the NFL right now. Give me the LA Rams. Next game, we have the Detroit Lions. They are traveling to San Francisco, facing the San Francisco 49ers. And both these teams lost last week. They both need a victory now. You do not want to start 0-2 in this league. But the Lions, they're already talking about turmoil there. I said in my week 1 recap, there's only one man you can really blame to me for that 48-17 loss, and that's Matt Patricia, because their defense and the whole team entirely had not changed from last year. They added a couple pieces. They're healthier than they were last year. There's only one man you can blame, and that's Matt Patricia. They're the same offensive coordinator. It's Matt Patricia. And already within the Lions locker room, you're hearing them talk, Matt Patricia, we don't like Matt Patricia, yada, 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 Matt Patricia. So things are not looking good there early. It was a Monday Night Football game. I don't expect them to bounce back in 6 days. Give me the 49ers to get the victory here and go 1-1. Lions 0-2, an ugly start for the Detroit Lions. Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos, and again, I'm telling people to be careful of this game. John Gruden, we're all making fun of him, and maybe deservedly so. Like, he traded Khalil Mack. That was stupid. That was dumb. He still knows how to make a game plan. I mean, there's a reason why the Raiders came out so hard in that game. He literally, I think, manufactured the lead for the Raiders after the first half. The fact that the Raiders were leading after the first half, to me, was all attributed to John Gruden and the great coaching job he was doing and the great energy he had brought to that team. You saw how fired up everyone was, how fired up the players were. The whole atmosphere was fantastic. So I'm still looking out for Gruden here. But I think the Broncos have too much right now in terms of their weapons. Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, and I'm not sure who's going to cover these guys. And their running backs right now, Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman, they look a little dynamic. Case Keenum still doing his thing with more interceptions than he did last year, but he's still doing his thing in terms of being a prolific passer, relatively speaking. So give me the Broncos to win this game at home. 2-0 start for the Denver Broncos, although both games were at home against teams you were probably supposed to be. Next game, we have New England Patriots at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And man, give me the New England Patriots to win this game. Yes, I know they were down 20-10 that AFC Championship game in New England. But right now, I do not like the Jacksonville Jaguars offense at all. Now, I'm expecting Leonard Fournette to come back healthy, but I haven't even checked the injury report. Maybe he won't. Even if he doesn't, or even if he does, I don't like the passing game in Jacksonville. Keelan Cole, Dede Westbrook, DJ Chark. I don't have faith in these guys. Chark's a rookie. Keelan Cole's not very good. He's able to do a decent job, but he's not a number 1 wide receiver in this damn league, Jesus. And Dede Westbrook might be a number 3. It's ugly, and you still have Blake Bortles throwing to them. So you have bad wide receivers and a bad quarterback. That is not appealing. That does not excite me at all, and you will not get away with that against the Patriots. I know their defense isn't extremely talented. They've been more talented in the past, but that's not good enough. Tom Brady will go into Jacksonville and do his thing in a low-scoring affair, but a W for the New England Patriots. Rob Gronkowski will prove not to be average, Mr. Jalen Ramsey. Next game, New York Giants. They are traveling to Dallas. They are facing the Dallas Cowboys. And who is going to be last in the NFC East? That is the question. Okay, the Giants are able to compete last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, but I still was impressed with that. However, the Cowboys, they competed with the Panthers, but I never really felt they had a chance to win that game. That's the difference there. The thing is, man, again, I don't have faith in this Cowboys passing game right now. It is awful. And let me tell you, Landon Collins and Janoris Jenkins, they're going to give you hell. You're telling Michael Gallup to go up against these two men and have success? Good luck with that. Allen Hurns, it hurts me to watch this guy trying to get open against these guys. Dak Prescott looking like horrible right now. It's not looking good right now for Dallas. The Giants have more going for them. Eli Manning is still not very good, but Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham, they have that combination. That duo is already proving to be very dynamic, and their defense is looking good right now. Give me the Giants to go to Dallas and get the victory on Sunday Night Football. Wow. And then Monday Night Football game, Seattle Seahawks, they're traveling to Chicago, facing the Chicago Bears. And we're going to find out a lot about the Bears in this game, to me. Because although they should have won last week, and they came very close, and I have them making the playoffs this year, I need to see a little more. I need to see them actually win big games. It is a big game. If they lose this game, they're 0-2. They may not make the playoffs. They probably won't make the playoffs at that point. 0-2 people is very dangerous. Only 10% of teams to ever go 0-2 since like 1980 have made the playoffs. 0-2 is not a complete death sentence, but it's damn near close. You do not want to start 0-2. So this scares me because Russell Wilson is capable of winning at any given moment, but I think Khalil Mack will supply enough pressure against the Seahawks offensive line. They're still missing Doug Baldwin sorely. Really right now for this Seattle Seahawks offense, they're sorely missing him. So I have faith in the Bears to get this done, but be careful. It will not be very easy. Mr. Trubisky, do not test Earl Thomas, because even though he hasn't done anything in training camp, he literally stepped onto the field against Denver and was able to go get the victory. Do not test this man. We move on to my guarantees of the week. These are my betting picks of the week. And remember, I went 4-1 last week with my guarantees. You need to look out for me in my guarantees. Now this week we only have 4. I did not want to stretch it to 5 because 5, if I was going to do that, it was going to be a stretch. It was going to be a pick that I did not want to do. So only 4 picks this week, but I love them. And they're all road teams. I'm all on the road teams in week 2. Week 2, a lot of road teams tend to win. They tend, to even things out, to compete. If they competed badly the week 1, I've seen that historically in the past, and that's why week 2 straight up picks tend to be very difficult. So look out for that this week as well. So let's start with this, the Colts +6. Again, I really wanted to pick them straight up. I just couldn't, but I still think they will definitely compete, go within 6, and maybe win the game outright. Carolina Panthers +6. I mentioned it earlier again. I think they may win the damn game. Give me 6 points. Teams that are very close right now, although I do think the Falcons are going to be better than the Panthers by far. It's a divisional game. Come on, give me the Panthers +6 points. Patriots -1. I'm convinced that they're going to win. I just don't see them losing in Jacksonville. I think the Jaguars' offense is just too bad. I don't have faith in Blake Bortles in that passing game with those wide receivers, as I mentioned earlier. I just don't have faith in it. And then Raiders +6. I know they're the butts of everyone's jokes right now, but I think they will go to Denver and compete. It's a divisional game, another divisional game. You give me 6 points for a road team in a divisional game, I'm going to take it. Even if the teams you think are separate, there's a huge chasm there, there's really not. Look at last week, the Bucs, they went to New Orleans, they got the victory. You need to be careful of these divisional matchups. These road divisional teams go on the road all the time, and they win all the time. Give me the Raiders +6. So there you go. That's my week 2 picks and predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. This has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. Week 2. Let it begin. I'm out. Peace.